All right, geometry, we're getting ready for our first test, chapter 1 test. So we're going to split this up into two videos. The first video is going to cover the front side, and the second video is going to cover the back side. So for the front side, we start with the first question referring to the picture to the right here. So let's get into it here. So start off with give another name for angle 2. So remember, with angles, we want to label it or name it with the vertex in the middle, but we need probably 3 letters. So for angle 2 is right here, so I can go right there. Angle 2 is ADF. So D is in the middle because it is the vertex, and the other 2 are out there. So ADF, or you could also say FDA because the order doesn't matter there. Okay, so 3 non-collinear points. So 3 non-collinear points, I just need them not on the same line. So I'm going to choose C, F, and A. C, F, and A. Now, keep in mind, I could have actually chosen C and D as long as the third one is not on the line. So we can also do that. All right, so what are the sides of angle 6? So find angle 6. Here's angle 6. So the 2 sides are EB or BE and AB or BA. So again, you always want to start with the vertex. So in that case, it's going to be BE and BA. Okay, so name a point on the interior of FDE. So interior, the interior is meaning what's inside of it. So FDE is this angle here. So name a point inside of there would mean any point that's in this area. And the only one that shows up there is actually A. Point A is the only one that's actually inside of there. All right. And then name a right angle. Name a right angle. You could just name the only one there. That's angle 5. Or again, we could name it ABD or ABC. Either way would work. And then name a pair of supplementary angles. Supplementary means it makes a line. So look at these two. Those two make a line when you put them together. Or these two make a line as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and say 5 and 6, but really there's a bunch of different options. So angle 5 and angle 6. Now keep in mind, you could say angle 4 and angle ADC. Okay, so angle 4 is this one, ADC is this one, and it makes that solid line there. Okay. And then number 7, name a pair of opposite rays. So opposite rays is when you have a point and the rays go in opposite directions. Okay? So if I start with D, like I am with my drawing, I'm going to go DC is this way, and DE is this way. Okay? Those are opposite rays because it starts at the same point and it goes in completely opposite directions, and it creates a line. So this way and this way makes a straight line. All right. So that's it for that first picture. Now, for the bottom here, we're still looking at the same picture. State whether the angle given is acute, right, obtuse, or straight. So ADC. So looking at our picture, we start with A, going to DC. Obviously, that's pretty big, so that's going to be obtuse. Okay. BDC. Okay, BDC. So start with B, it's going to DC. So since it's a straight line, we call it a straight angle. Okay. Number 12, angle A. So angle A is the same as angle 1. Since A doesn't have any other rays coming from it, that's the only angle we can talk about with A as the vertex. And that is pretty small. It's less than 90, so that's acute. Okay, so number 6, if you're looking at number 6, doesn't really say anything, but if you notice right here, angle 5 has a box, and if that is right next to, that's also a box. Okay, so number 6 has to be a right angle. Okay, and then number 11, 3. Okay, a right angle would have to go straight up, so this is an acute because it's smaller than a right angle. And then finally, FDE. FDE. So F, D, and an E goes that way. Obviously, that is an obtuse angle. Okay, so that's it for that first section. Now we're looking at this last part here. Identify a pair of angles adjacent, vertical, complementary, supplementary, or linear pair. And you might have more than one answer, so really pay attention to what's going on. Remember, adjacent means they're right next to each other, and then vertical means they're opposite. They're created so they kind of make an X and they're opposite like that, where adjacent means they're right next to each other, so an angle like that and that. Okay, and then figure out what else. So LKP, first one, LKP and PKR. LKP is this one, and PKR is this one. Okay, so what's it look like? Well, first of all, they do share a side. Okay, this side right here, they share, so that'd be adjacent. And then also, if you look at right next to it, this is a right angle, and if you're talking about this one and this one, it's right next to it. And since they are together and make a right angle, that's complementary. You can make a right angle. Okay, so the next one, ORN. ORN. I'm going to make my highlighter a little less intense. Okay, ORN. ORN's right there. And NLR. NRL, sorry. NRL. Okay, so as you can see, they share a side. So that's adjacent again. And look at what happens when you put them together. See how they make that line? So if they make a line together, that's a linear pair and it's supplementary. Supplementary because that's 180. Linear pair because they're next to each other making a line. Okay? And then ORN is going right here. ORN, do a different color. ORN is that same one right here. And then MRL. Okay, so I'm going to clean this up real quick. If you notice here, MRL, see how they make an X shape here? So this angle and this angle are opposites, so that's vertical. And if they're vertical, usually they're not supplementary or complementary unless it's a special circumstance. Okay. So the last one here, we've got LQP like that, and KQR. And once again, look at that X shape that they create. So that one is vertical as well. Okay. So the last one here, this is given these 2 points, so X and Y. Find the length and the midpoint. So I'm going to find the distance using the distance formula first. So remember your distance formula. It's the difference of the x's. So I'm going to go minus 5 minus, so negative 5 minus 4 squared, plus the difference of the y. So 8 minus 11 squared. And so we got negative 5 minus 4 is negative 9 squared, plus 8 minus 3 is negative 3 squared. Remember, when you square something, they become positive automatically. So that's positive 81 plus 9. And so the square root of 90 is our length. So I'm going to go ahead and use my calculator. Square root of 90 is 9.4. We're going to go one decimal place. So it's 9.486, but that rounds to 9.5. And so 9.5 is our first answer. That's the length. And then the midpoint, remember, is the average of both points. Okay? So the average of the x's divided by 2, the average of the y. So the average of the x's is negative 5 plus 4. Add them, divide by 2. Add them together, divide by 2. Okay? And so for the x, it's negative 1 over 2. And then 8 plus 11 is 19 over 2. And again, we can just go ahead and get decimals. That's negative 0.5. And then 19 divided by 2 is positive 9.5. So negative 0.5, 9.5, and that's my midpoint. Okay? So there's the first page of our review. The rest will be on a video tomorrow or in class. Okay? So if you have questions, be sure to ask and be ready for your test on Thursday.